Hello. I decided I was going to make two videos in one day just 'cause why not? Like, I'm sure you guys wouldn't mind that because I'm sure a lot of people like seeing content like this. But yeah, the overall point in this video is that this is like five things that I'd like to see VTW do down the line. Now, they obviously don't have to do this stuff. This is obviously just stuff I'd like to see down the line, and I'm hoping like VTW at least like thinks about it, even for just 2 minutes. But like, no, like they they really don't have to. But like, I think it'd just be super cool if they at least thought about it. But yeah, these are five things I'd like to see VTW do or bring down the line. Now, the first thing I'm going to bring up that I'd like to see VTW do down the line that I hope they actually do, even though like I don't expect them to do it. I don't understand why they didn't do it. But what I'd like to see them do down the line is bring in a third singles championship. And I do understand that they can only focus on so many championships. And yeah, maybe just focusing on two championships is quite a bit for them. But like, the way I look at it, like, they have quite the roster. They have certain wrestlers that haven't held either of the VTW or the World Championship, and some of these wrestlers are really good wrestlers, like Zack Zander, for example. Really good wrestler, a wrestler I'd like to see hold a championship down the line. Now, I'm sure VTW will ask if I don't bring this up, like, what championship would I like to see them bring in as a third championship? Now, I've thought of a few different championships they can bring in that I think would work pretty well. Because obviously, the YouTube Championship is like the stepping stone championship for the World Championship, while the World Championship is obviously the top prize. I think they should bring in a championship that's used as like the workhorse championship. Basically, a championship where you're defending it a lot, maybe not all the time, but like defending it consistently, just a regular basis in general, and like, yeah, just a workhorse championship. I think now you can argue that both of the current championships in VTW qualify for being workhorse championships, but they're not like actively called the workhorse championships, if you know what I mean. I'd like a championship that's like known as a workhorse title. Now, what names would be cool for a championship like that? Now, you can perhaps suggest maybe VTW brings in an X division. Now, you can argue most of VTW's rosters are like lightweights, so it really isn't needed to have a lightweight division if it's already kind of lightweight. But the thing is, the X division is used as a division in which there is no weight limit. Basically, there's you just have to be athletic and really talented and strong and stuff. And that's how the X Division Championship is used in TNA, which is the only championship that has an X Division. But yeah, I'd like to see that. I'd also like to see maybe they bring in the Pure Championship, because the Pure Championship is like the only Ring of Honor championship that really amuses me, because it has a really original like rules to it. Like, and I'm not saying they have to like make the exact same rules for their Pure Championship, but I think it would be pretty cool if this was like the Technical Wrestling Workhorse Championship. So those are a couple different ideas I have, and maybe there's a couple championships they can bring back and try to give more meaning to than they had when they originally had the championships. Like a championship that's basically like an if you know you know type championship is the X Factor title. Now the X Factor title, again, I'm sure VTW forgot about this title, to be honest. Feel free to tell me in the comments, VTW, because I'm not judging if you forgot about that title. Sometimes I forget about that title, and I have a pretty decent memory. But no, like, yeah, like, basically, like, the X Factor Championship was a secondary championship used in VTW for like a year or two. And basically there's like a running joke that the X Factor title was thrown in like a lava pit. At least that's what VTW or somebody in VTW told me when I was like, hey, where's the X Division title? And like 12 to 13-year-old me was like, bullshit. But like, and I know they were just joking, but like, come on. But no, like, I would like to see the X Factor Championship be brought back and be given a deeper meaning than it was given before. Not that it had no meaning before, but like, it wasn't really a specific championship. It wasn't like a workhorse type title. It wasn't like a rules type title or a hardcore type of title or a 24/7 type of title. It was just kind of a background title, in my opinion. That's what it kind of came off as. There was very few X Factor champions that made that feel like a legit title. And that's why it's basically like the TNA Legends Championship of VTW. And I think if it was to be brought back, I would personally try to make it have more of a meaning. And like I said, just make it like a workhorse championship. Like, basically, like the international championship is to AEW. Like that championship that's defended consistently, has consistently good matches, is like just that regular championship you see a lot of in terms of matches. Now, another video I could do down the line is how would I book this third championship? Like, who would I crown as the first champion of this said championship? Like, and like, how often would I use it? Stuff like that. Like, I could definitely do some fantasy booking videos for VTW. Like, and who knows, maybe I'll give VTW some really good ideas that they might just bring to life. But for now, I'm just using these as like entertainment purposes ideas. And yeah. Brings me to my second idea out of 5. Imagine this. Hear me out on this. VTW brings in the G1 Climax. Now, basically, a G1 Climax, I'm going to explain this as best as I can. Basically, there are 6 wrestlers or 4 wrestlers or whatever on each side of the tournament brackets. And each wrestler from that bracket has to face all 5 of the other wrestlers on their side of the bracket. And whoever picks up the most wins / points ends up being the winner of their side, which let's say is like the red block and the blue block. And the winner of those blocks will go to the finals and face each other. And the winner of that match will be a number 1 contender or a champion. I think that would be a really cool thing if VTW did, because I think there's a few wrestlers that would do great in like a G1 Climax tournament, like D-Lock, Zack Xander, Zach Daniels, Dustin Reagan, Ecstatic, just to name a few, and like Aaron Jones. But yeah, just to name a few. And like, I just think it would be a really cool thing if VTW did that down the line. Like, I know they like do an annual tournament for like, it's like the Avery Hoke Memorial Tournament. I think it would be pretty cool if they made the Avery Hoke Memorial Tournament basically like the G1 Climax of VTW. I think it would just be really cool, and I would be super down for that. Now, for number 3, I don't know how many people would really give a shit if VTW were to do this, but I personally think it would be pretty cool. Now, you can argue with what I said earlier and say that VTW really doesn't need any more singles championships. And I could somewhat understand that. And really, you could also argue that the only championships left that would really make sense for VTW that they could make its own individual prize is the tag team titles. Now, does VTW have like a really big tag division right now? No. Do they have any tag teams? Kind of. Are there some like potential duos they can make in VTW? Probably. And like, I wouldn't blame VTW if they decided like, hell no, I'm bringing in the tag titles, because I'm sure it'd be pretty stressful thinking of tag teams to make. And like be able to blend, like make enough tag teams but still have enough singles wrestlers to go after the singles prizes. Like I could understand that from that point of view for sure. And yeah, like so like if not like a third singles championship, I'd definitely like to see like a like the tag titles make their return, or maybe even a hardcore championship, because I'm a sucker for spot fest hardcore wrestling. Now, number four, I think, is the most likely to happen because they kind of like suggested bringing it up and like asked the fans if they wanted to see this make a comeback. But a thing I'd definitely like to see that they're most likely gonna do is bring back Vindication. I thought Vindication was a pretty entertaining thing. It's like some of my favorite VTW moments come from Vindication episodes. And like sometimes we can use like chill episodes of VTW. Like you wouldn't expect that from a pay-per-view, but like from like VTW, yeah, sure, like a match or two, but like mostly just a chill episode with like promos and like segments and whatnot. Like I think that would be pretty cool to see, and I hope VTW decides to bring back Vindication because I think that would be a pretty cool thing to happen. Another thing I'd like to see VTW do is something like I don't think they've done before. Basically, a history video, or history videos. What do I mean by that exactly? Like, for example, the history of the YouTube Championship, like a title history video. Like, basically, like every single YouTube champion. And I don't really expect them to do that because obviously they'd have to do a lot of memory checking and like going through their content, past and present, and being like, oh yeah, this person was champion at one point. But like, I think it'd be pretty cool because like, I'm still trying to like keep track of every like YouTube champion and how long they held it and who they lost it to and who held it in what order, stuff like that. Like that's something I'm trying desperately to do at the moment. Like I'm trying to keep track of how long BTW champions have held their championships, which I'm doing at the moment with the current champions, and I think I've gotten most of the champions down for both championships, both active championships. But yeah, like I have like the first couple champions from like the 2010 era of VTW, but like that, and I have like the last like I don't know 20-ish VTW champions, basically from I have every champion from Drew Hood's first world title reign onward. So every title reign from Drew Hood's first title reign onward, and like I know I repeated myself, but still, like I think that would be pretty cool to see. Like it would help me make a statistic video. Like it would help me like with like a video I want to do down the line of basically like um like who um trying to think of the words here. I sound a little weird right now, I know, but basically like every like ranking every single champion is basically what I mean. Like basically like ranking every champion from my least favorite to favorite. And I did ask earlier today to VTW if they could like re-upload or like unprivate some of their videos so I can know the complete history of both of their active championships. But I feel like that was a lot to ask, and I feel like I might have annoyed them a little bit, and I hope I didn't. It wasn't my intention at all. Like I'm not gonna overthink it or anything, cause I feel like I probably didn't annoy them about it, but you never really know. So like I'm kind of evenly split on that. Like at this point, I don't really mind. It's like I just want to find a way somehow to like figure out the complete history of both the World Championship and the YouTube Championship and be able to like give a ranking video, another ranking video on the VTW active championships. But yeah, that's it for this video. I hope you enjoyed it, and obviously, be good people. It's not easy to be good people nowadays, and I I'm trying my best to be one of those exceptions, and I hope you guys are too. But yeah, be good people.